The devastating wildfire in California has brought a wave of destruction to the state, leaving both residents and celebrities grappling with the relentless fury of the flames. Among the many individuals whose lives were disrupted by the raging fire was none other than Hollywood superstar Ben Affleck. The iconic actor, known for his roles in films like Good Will Hunting, Argo, and Batman v Superman, had to confront the terror of watching his $20 million bachelor pad in Pacific Palisades become threatened by the advancing wildfire. On Tuesday, as the fire closed in on his property, Affleck was forced into a hasty evacuation. The wildfires, which had been spreading rapidly across the region, created an undeniable sense of panic, and Affleck quickly realized that there was no time to waste. With the flames approaching dangerously close to his home, the actor made the decision to flee immediately. The smoke-filled skies, the crackling of flames in the distance, and the uncertainty of whether his home would survive the disaster were overwhelming. With his primary residence now under threat, Ben Affleck sought refuge in a familiar and safe place: his former partner Jennifer Garner's home. The two actors, who divorced in 2018 after a 13-year marriage, have remained close friends and continue to co-parent their 3 children together. Their amicable relationship, despite their personal struggles, is well known in Hollywood, and it was no surprise that Affleck turned to Garner in his time of need. What made the situation even more poignant was the fact that Garner's home was just a stone's throw away from Affleck's property, making it the perfect place for him to seek shelter from the chaos unfolding around him. The wildfire that was threatening Affleck's home in Pacific Palisades had already ravaged thousands of acres of land, displacing residents, destroying homes, and leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. California has faced numerous wildfires in recent years, but the ferocity and speed with which this blaze spread was extraordinary. As it rapidly engulfed vast expanses of land, it put numerous multi-million-dollar mansions, including those of several high-profile celebrities, in imminent danger. For Ben Affleck, the fire was not just a natural disaster but a personal crisis, forcing him to watch from a distance as the house he had been living in for the past few years was at risk of being consumed by flames. Affleck had only recently made his Pacific Palisades mansion his home after his high-profile split from Jennifer Lopez. The $68 million estate that he shared with Lopez had been sold following their breakup, and Affleck moved into a much more modest residence in comparison. His bachelor pad in Pacific Palisades was a symbol of a new chapter in his life, and although it lacked the grandiose size of his previous home, it provided him with the privacy and peace he desired. Unfortunately, his sense of security was fleeting as the wildfire moved closer to his doorstep. With no time to waste, Affleck quickly packed up and left, unsure of what would become of his property. As he rushed to Garner's nearby home, the emotional weight of the situation became apparent. Onlookers spotted the actor looking visibly upset as he made his way toward the safety of his former partner's residence. The sadness in his expression reflected the gravity of the situation, and it was clear that he was deeply concerned not only about the loss of his home but about the safety of everyone involved. As a parent, his first instinct was to protect his children, and he was seen as a figure of both worry and relief as he arrived at Jennifer Garner's home. It is important to note that while Affleck's home was being threatened, Jennifer Garner's property remained unharmed by the wildfire at the time. Garner's residence, located just a short distance from Affleck's property, was spared from the flames, and there were no reports of her needing to evacuate. She had, at least for the moment, avoided the chaos that was affecting her ex-husband's life. Despite the stressful nature of the situation, Garner was able to offer her ex-husband a place of refuge and security. It was unclear whether Affleck intended to stay at Garner's home or if he simply went there to check on his children and make sure they were safe, but it was apparent that the situation was one that required the cooperation and support of both parents. This event highlighted the unique and complex relationship between the two Hollywood stars, who have continued to support one another even after their divorce. While their marriage ended years ago, they have remained dedicated to co-parenting their 3 children: Violet, Serafina, and Samuel. In times of crisis, this cooperative dynamic has allowed them to maintain a sense of stability for their children, even when their personal lives were upended. For Ben Affleck, his decision to seek shelter at Garner's home was not just about avoiding the physical dangers of the wildfire, but also about protecting his family in a time of uncertainty. Despite the devastating wildfires affecting celebrities like Affleck, the situation was far from isolated. In fact, a number of other high-profile individuals found themselves facing the wrath of the flames, with multi-billion-dollar luxury estates across the state in jeopardy. The wildfires have been tearing through California, and the number of people displaced by the fires has been staggering. Homes that once stood as symbols of wealth and success were now vulnerable to the unpredictable nature of the flames. As the fire raged on, thousands of acres were scorched, and the destruction was becoming increasingly evident. According to reports, the fire had already consumed nearly 3,000 acres of land, leaving countless homes reduced to rubble. While the damage is still being assessed, the full scale of the devastation is yet to be known. Many residents, including celebrities, have had to evacuate their homes, unsure of whether they will ever see their properties again. For some, the losses have been catastrophic and the emotional toll is immense. For those like Ben Affleck who have faced public scrutiny and personal struggles in their careers, the threat of losing one's home to a natural disaster is a stark reminder of the fragility of life. The actor, who has battled addiction, been in the public eye for much of his life, and gone through multiple high-profile relationships, now found himself dealing with a situation that was beyond his control. The loss of material possessions, however, seemed secondary to the well-being of his children and family. His concern for their safety was evident, and as he stood by Garner's side, it became clear that the priorities had shifted. Family, safety, and support took precedence over everything else. The impact of the California wildfires extends far beyond the entertainment industry, affecting people from all walks of life. The destruction has affected many communities, and the toll it has taken on individuals, families, and businesses has been immense. As the flames continue to wreak havoc, the need for emergency response, aid, and support has never been greater. Organizations and individuals alike are coming together to offer assistance to those affected by the fires, providing shelter, food, and resources to help those in need. Celebrities like Affleck and Garner have used their platforms to raise awareness and rally support for the affected communities, amplifying the collective efforts to help rebuild and recover. As the wildfire continues to rage across California, the road to recovery will be long and challenging. The psychological and emotional toll of the disaster will be felt for years to come, but with the support of friends, family, and the community, there is hope that the affected areas will rebuild and emerge stronger. For Ben Affleck, Jennifer Garner, and others facing similar challenges, the wildfire serves as a reminder of the unpredictable and often devastating forces of nature. But it is also a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the strength that can be found in times of crisis. As they continue to rebuild their lives, their shared journey toward recovery will undoubtedly serve as an example of hope and perseverance.